Hey, what's up and welcome to my channel. I'm Simon, a personal trainer from Canada living in Tokyo. And if you're new here, just a FYI, I made this channel to help inspire or motivate people, especially people who are maybe a bit older. So I just turned 50 this year, or maybe people who have not exercised in a while, to help motivate and show people that even at my age, well, I've been a personal trainer and I've been training a while, but I was, an avid gym goer, so I was hitting the weights and maybe neglecting certain areas of my fitness level. And I had surgery on my shoulder, I had surgery on my wrists. So I have, some pains and flexibility issues that I'm trying to work through. So in this video, I want to show you, what I do to prepare my wrists, especially because that's my weak link in this whole, handstand challenge that I'm on. So here we have me doing some fingertip sort of push-ups. That's the gymnastics hands as they call them, or at least that's what I call them. So fingers slightly bent, and I'm putting a lot of weight on my wrists. These are not push-ups to develop the arms or develop the chest or anything like that. These are strictly push-ups to develop the hand and wrist strength that I need to balance a handstand. So if you're struggling with your handstands, I highly recommend working on your wrist strength. And this is how I'm doing it. So again, as I've said in previous videos, I know my form is not the best. So I don't have a perpendicular forearm. And I don't know, maybe my back is not straight enough. Anyway, there's a few things I could probably work on to improve on my form. But at the moment, I'm really just focusing all my energy on the wrist. I'm just making it hurt. I'm looking for that pain spot, and I'm sticking with it. Here before my handstands, I thought my shoulders felt a bit tight today, so I did a bit of shoulder mobility issues. A bit of shoulder mobility training. Like I said, I did actually have orthoscopic surgery on my left shoulder. So I had a bone spur removed. So it wasn't really crazy surgery, like it wasn't deep into the socket or anything like that. It was pretty superficial, but it still gives me a little bit of issues. Anyways, this is what I'm doing to sort of build up flexibility, mobility, strength in the shoulders. Because obviously for a handstand, when you're upside down, you need to have very straight body alignment. And if your shoulders are tight, it's not gonna look great. That being said, when I do finally get upside down, maybe you can see in just a second. So here we can see, I have a slight bend in my left arm. That's mainly due to wrist issues. I don't think that's my shoulder giving me issues. It's just when I straighten my elbow all the way, it just accentuates the pain and pressure on my left wrist. So I'm working on it really hard, but at the moment, I'm really just focusing on developing my wrist strength. So everything I'm doing for handstands is just wrist, and hand and finger, everything centered around the hands. So again, if that's something that you're struggling with, if you're working on handstands or any kind of calisthenics, work on your finger strength, your hand strength. I tried to show as much as I can for my wrist preparation work. I put it in high speed, but I think you get the idea, right? I put my hands down on the mat and I'm pushing with the fingers and I'm going back and forth. I'm doing clocks, so I'm rotating my hands around. I'm doing a lot of different things, but this is a long road. I've neglected my wrists for a very long time, and I turned 50 last month. So I'm trying to work through all this pain and, maybe like scar tissue buildup from surgeries and that type of thing. So maybe you're in a similar boat. Maybe you had surgeries, or maybe you've just neglected your health for a while. Or maybe like me, you were an avid gym goer, and so you were hitting the gym and neglecting this body weight type work. Then for sure, I think, showing you what I'm doing may be of help to you, and I hope that it is. We're gonna take this challenge for 30 days and see how much progress I can make. Anyways, I don't know. These handstands are not looking great. From this angle, you can't really see, but I definitely have a banana shape, which I've come to terms with. Like I know I have a banana shape. If you check on YouTube, there are videos out there which say, you know, body alignment has to be perfect for a handstand, which is probably true, but that's not to say that you can't start off somewhere. So starting off with wherever you are, you know, maybe that's a banana shape, maybe that's, you know, continually having the feet on the wall. Luckily, I'm able to pull my feet away from the wall a little bit, but that requires me pushing really hard with my fingertips, and it shoots a ton of pain through my wrist. So I'm working on it, but it's so painful. Like, it's unbelievably painful for me. Like, I feel like there's glass in my wrists. Anyways, if you can push on the fingers and you can push with your wrist strength and your flexors here, do that and see if your handstands improve. And then, you know, once your wrists are strong enough, then we're gonna work up the chain. So work on the hollow body position, which is, you know, sort of abs in, and, you know, hips, pointed toes, and then step by step, we're gonna, you know, move away from the wall, do freestanding, and hopefully get into some handstand push-ups and that type of thing. So it's a progression. Here we have a slightly different angle. I thought I would show you my banana shape. Anyway, as you can see, it's not the best. It looks like my shoulders could be straighter, but again, I mean, I got my hands in the right position and I'm just pushing with the fingers. Basically, I'm just trying to develop finger strength with my entire body weight. You know, I get a bit of air time, not a lot, but anyways, I'm happy with this workout. I thought it went fairly well. A little bit better than the previous one, so, you know, we're making incremental progress, but that's all that I can ask for. You know, with each workout, I'm getting an extra second of airtime, and, you know, that means my wrists are getting stronger. So anyways, if you made it this far and listened to me ramble a bit, then I appreciate your time and I appreciate you watching my videos. Again, I really hope this helps you, you know, in any way, shape, or form. If anything, I hope it motivates you to, you know, break free and break out of the mold that you've created for yourself and sort of, you know, find, you know, freedom of movement in your own body. So with that, I'm out. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks again. Peace.